Okay, great. Uh, let's get started then. The first task will be converting an implementation of the priority queue data structure from Java to Python. And you will do this first one without the AI support. The second task will be to convert an implementation of the tree data structure, or try data structure from Java to Python as well. And you'll do that one with the AI support. We will also take a break between the two tasks since the session will take about 2 hours. Um, First, let me tell you a bit more about this code translation task. The task is to produce a complete and working Python translation within 30 minutes. By complete, I mean that all of the functionality and documentation from the Java code should be translated. And by working, I mean that the Python code should be tested for correctness. As I mentioned earlier, there's more work to do to accomplish an absolutely perfect translation than what can be done in 30 minutes. So really, I'm asking you to just do as much as you can in the time that you have. But as you can imagine, there might be some trade-offs in how you spend your time, such as whether you choose to translate all of the functionality first or to translate portion of it while testing it to make sure it works. How you navigate this trade-off is completely up to you. There are a few other things I should mention about this task. The first is that you'll be using an online version of the VS Code editor in the study, which has a few minor differences from the desktop application, but in general, all the menu commands and keystrokes are available and should just work. But please let me know if you find any difficulties along the way. The second point is that I won't be able to answer any technical questions about the code or what it's supposed to do, but I can tell you that the Java implementation is completely correct. Number 3, when you make the translation, please try to preserve the naming of the class and methods, but we are less concerned about how you name variables. Okay. You can also use whatever resource you feel would be helpful, such as searching the web or Stack Overflow or running any piece of the code, since we installed both Java and Python in the editor. The last one is that I will give you a 5-minute warning when time is almost up, so you know when to start wrapping up your work. We also ask that as you work on the tasks, you think out loud and tell us what you're thinking and what you're doing. This really helps us understand how you approach the task and what you're thinking about as you do it. If you're quiet, I will remind you to keep thinking out loud. Okay. Any questions before we start?
No, let's do it.
Okay, let's go for it. Let me. Okay, please. First of all, let me. If you can share your screen, please.
Yes, of
And
course.
I'm gonna send you.
There we go.
Great, I can see everything. Okay, I'm gonna share the link to the editor in the chat to the VS Code.
All right.
You will need VPN.
The VPN, yeah, I was gonna ask that.
Connection.
Give me a sec.
Yes, no
Give me a
worries.
sec. All right. All right. It's initiating.
It's okay. Takes a while.
Yeah, it takes a bit. Establishing, blah, blah, blah. And there we go. All right.
Maybe it takes a while to load, but It should be okay.
There it
So,
is.
like I said, we will start with the priority queue without AI support. So please put your solution in the priority queue.py file.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ready?
Okay. Okay.
There we go. We're starting.
Okay. Oh man, I remember this from college.
Mm.
It was ugly. Okay. Okay. Well, the first thing we should do is create a class on Python. If only I remember how to do that, but no worries. No worries. See how the syntax was. Ah, it was only a def, right? I thought it was a class something, but no, it was a def. Okay. So this is priority queue. There we go. And then as for the private heap, I'm not sure if we had this structure in Python or if it was only a list. So let's check that out. It's only a list, I think. There we go. List. Ah, it's only a list. Okay. Great. Great. So back to this. Just go this way. What's list? Doesn't work. The constructor, which was a def queue. Mm, I think. I honestly don't remember how to instantiate this. There we go. I wasn't an array. Seriously? Okay, fine. Fine. We have e equals empty then, apparently. Sure. There was a way to make these things private, but I don't remember how. Because I never use classes. And because you had to use the self thing. Yeah, that's right. I remember now. Self that's something equals value. Great. So let's try then. Self dot keep equals something. I'm not sure if I should define this, but no. This is Python, not how. So now if I do just home and I do like a new priority queue and I send it nothing and then I just print it or something, then this should do something. Like break, for instance. Whoa, this is ugly. Invalid syntax. Clearly. Damn you then. This can be instantiate object. Come on. I knew I had to use class. Damn it. Jesus. Sense. Class. There you go. Run it. No, I can't use the shortcut, so I need to use this. Seriously? Class that I need to use the self. I thought this was optional, but maybe not. So just steal this for a moment. This works. So why doesn't this work? So I don't have this. Doesn't really make much sense to me, but let's try it. Come on. It's not defined. Okay, so this is better. Because you needed to do self that heap. Well, that's not it. You didn't need to, because it was called init. Really? But it was the same name. Well, whatever. Fine. Stupid Python. And this needs to go away. There you go. Well, you're printing something. Great. Okay. A little bit rusty, clearly, about classes in Python, which sucks. Then we have insert, remove, size, but this should be easy. Size, peak. Let's copy this. Replicate it. So it's size and heap. We should have a def size that only return self dot heap dot it's len, I think. Sure. Versions like this, but that only works for strings, I'm not sure. Then you have peak, which should return the first element. So we should copy this. Copying is always a good thing to do. Let's go to peak, and this should return the self heap 0 element. Okay. So if I do that size, it's probably going to break, because I'm pretty sure it's not the correct syntax. But let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, what? Don't like this. Because I wrote it twice. What an idiot. Takes positional arguments, but one was given. One was given. Well, this doesn't make sense. I can't believe I'm labeling this, but apparently I am. Miss Lynn, come on. Yeah. Doing them. Didn't give you two. Didn't give you two. What are you saying? Okay. Let's ignore this. What happens if I do just the dest queue thing? Say dot. Okay, so it does something. I don't have elements yet, so This is probably not going to work. So I should try size first. And it's going to break again, probably. Yes, why are you breaking? I don't get it. Oh, this is strange. Let's try add then. Let's change it and go to insert size, then it adds. What is this? Insert, it checks for the size, then it adds the item, and while the size is greater than 0, oh yeah, because the heaps divide things by 2 and then insert it. Ah, damn it. So this is not as easy as I thought. Let's do it then. Try to keep the order. So let's do an insert. I got an item here, and let's just do something dumb and do like a self heap append just to check if this is okay. And return self that heap, maybe. Let's just try it out. And so if I say insert, and I add, I don't know, like an A, for instance, and I run it, you're going to break again. Okay, clearly this is badly defined. 2 were given. Maybe this is not necessary anymore. Really? Damn you, Python. Damn you. Okay, let's do something dumb. Okay, Python. Okay. Yes, it's the constructor, I'm aware. Self.name. But I don't want to create anything by self. Okay. But it can be empty. I can just use the self and not add anything. So why? Yeah, this needs to work. So allow one or no parameters in Python. Do you really have to do something extra? I don't remember this. No, you could just do the self. Equals none. Really? Really? Do I really? No, I don't believe this. This is a lie. Okay, fine, whatever. I'll do it like this. Fine. Fine, Python. Fine. If you say this is what I need to do, then this is what I will do. Although it makes no sense. Sure. It's empty. So now do you work now? Really? 2 were given. I don't get this. I don't get it. Okay. Go back to size. And what do? You say the same thing again, don't you? Okay. Why? Why? Doesn't make any sense to me. It is fine. Why? Okay, let's just obviously that you commented. I think it was control something, check something. No. There was a way to comment this. Are you sure? Yeah. No. Not that one. It's not the one. What's the comment? Oh, okay. Definitely not all one. Jesus, can't remember the comment. Okay, fine, no worries. Just no, not a new of that, a new of this one. New file, yes, blah, blah, blah. Can I add something here? Yes, I can. Okay, so you're gonna wait for me there. And I'm gonna remove this. And okay, so this is not gonna compile, but this should. Okay, you work. Great. Awesome. So if I ask you to print yourself, what do? You're gonna say object at somewhere, right? Okay, good. That's good. You do something. So if I say print heap, self.heap, self.heap, what do? Do something? Do you just, okay? You see, you work. Then why are you giving me so much grief? Really? Okay, and if I say, I don't know, self that heap that append clearly, then you work. Okay, but this, you should print A. I don't get it. So why are you not working? Because I just do this and it works. Why? Let's try again. This is not properly indented, so it's going to give me some trouble. There you go. So that insert something, append item, return self heap, and then you should do the same thing you were just doing. Why? Because it would be really dumb to do this because it doesn't make any sense. But if you say so, maybe I will try. Should do this. It's not gonna work. Exactly, it's not gonna work. I knew it, but this is stupid. This is very stupid. Doesn't make sense. Position. Okay. You know what? We're gonna do what we should have done in the first place. Do this. Yeah, why? Why are you saying this? It doesn't make sense. I have a class. Yes. Yes. Okay. It's wrong method. It should be get self art, but it doesn't make sense. Occasionally, you don't care about the object. You can decorate the method, blah, blah, blah. Ah, because you can, okay, but that's a static method. That's not the same. That method. Yes. So I always have to use the self. I really didn't remember that. I knew it was true for the the constructor, but it doesn't really. Okay, so maybe I use the stuff in the definition. There you go. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't believe it. Hate Python. Hate Python. Okay. Let's get back on track then. We should do this. We should paste it. Now it should work. Jesus. Let's try it again. Not doing insert this just the size I already did. Okay, so if I run this, I forgot about the cell, obviously. Obviously. There we go. Hey, you work. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Python. Thank you, Python. Okay, so now we're missing the remove. The is empty, which is okay. It's also easy. Let's do this. Let's copy it, and we should do something like clearly. like this, and we should do is empty, and we should return if this equals 0. So if I ask it here whether it is empty, it should say no, but if I do this before inserting anything, then it should say yes. Exactly. Good. One less to worry about. So I'm gonna this one's done. This one's done. This one's done. Kind of compress everything. You said I also had to do the comments. Okay, I'll get to that. Enumerate, add all, heapify, and insert. The structure is done. I don't remember how to comment. I think it was with an at. Let's check. Python doc method. So I don't remember the syntax for these things. This is not the place. No, this is not the place. I think it was three quotations, I think. Oh, this is not a very healthy way to document stuff, but doc strings. I think that was the name, pretty sure. Okay, so maybe not. No, whatever, I tried. Let's try to replicate it anyway. See what Python does. So this is constructor. That's the only thing it says. So let's make sure it was like this. No, it wasn't. There was a way. No, there was a way to do this. Straight? No. Okay. I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna write whatever it is that you wrote, constructor, and then I'm gonna see if I can actually make it do something. So I can forget about these methods. Well, that's not the one because that's an insert, and I haven't done that one yet. Insert and remove. But I have done this one. I'm just gonna do. Was it single quote? Was it to comment? No. Well, there was a way. I don't remember which one. Let's just do that. Get the number. You return something. Blah. And I pasted it wrong, didn't I? Yeah, it was size. Sense. So that's size. Then we have size this one. We have peak. Only does this. This is the one. Just comment this, and what else? We have peak. Need the is empty, which is this one here. There we go. Okay, so this looks good. I need to worry about this one anymore, nor this one, nor this one, nor this awful one. Oh yeah, no, I do need to worry about this one because this doesn't go here. And your constructor takes something. Did it take something? I don't remember. Okay, it should equal empty then. There we go. What else? What else? What else? What else? Now onto the ugly methods. This one doesn't go. This one.
5 minutes warning.
Well, great. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, let's do this one. This one's easy. This one is a dev paddle kind of thing. Just have, I don't know, items. And I don't think you need a for. I think you can just append the whole thing. So let's see. Self again, never forget the self. Self that that should have something. It was a combine or a no, it wasn't. Oh, damn it. Okay, no worries. Append items, and this is a for. Can you suggest something to me? Of course not. In range from 0 to self that keep that length. You should do the length thing. Then maybe just I could have done that size because this is more direct. So I'm gonna go with this one. And then I should indent this. And let's do something. Yeah, this should work. Now, if I say friend test queue, I'm gonna write testing and I'm gonna leave it there so you can use it as well. I'm gonna say add all, and I'm gonna add just a bunch of numbers or something. And I will need to return in order to show you didn't do it, but I'm gonna delete it after. So let's try that. Not defined. What do you mean? What do you mean it's not defined? It's here. It's right here. What do you mean it's not defined? Name at all is not defined. All right, if you say so, Python. Are you sure it's not defined? Okay. Well, we don't need this. I just realized, so I'm gonna delete it. Oh, because there isn't a dot. What an idiot. Have two, right? Yes, only two. There we go. Now it should work. Probably. Yeah. Ah, but that's the, of course, because I should do items that I. Clumsy me. Or maybe not. Really? They need to do the +1 thing. I don't think I needed to do that, but maybe. Oh, this is scary. This is scary. This is fine. Green range. This is fine. Yes, start, stop, step. Start at 0 and I go until the length, going one by one. That's hard. So keep append items. Right. None. Okay, yes, of course I'm gonna return none because I shouldn't ask you to print this. I should ask you to then print keep, which is public and it shouldn't be, but whatever. Really? Okay. Do you have a method for that? Can I add it? No, you don't have it. Do you? You don't have it.
Okay, that's time.
Well, I try my best.
No, that was the task at hand, so you're perfectly fine.
Okay.
If you can close this tab because I'm gonna send you a different
Okay.
one and we need this one to be closed.
Okay.
Okay, Raina, I'm gonna send you a link to a survey now that you need to complete.
All right.
Let me share that in the chat as well.
Okay. Do you want me to still share my screen for this, or
Yes,
should I
please.
leave it
Yes,
on? Okay.
you should be sharing at all times.
Perfect. Perfect.
Great. Thank you.
Do I have an ID?
Yeah, you have an ID and it's P04.
B4.
P, as in P
Ah,
of
P.
participant. Yes,
Sorry.
P.
P4.
No
Okay.
worries. So the condition
So
is no AI
no AI,
and priority
and
queue
there's priority
is
queue.
your, yeah.
Yeah, and I agree to everything. Blah blah
Mhm.
blah. Mm, I mean, it was fine. I was just an idiot because I don't remember how to do classes in Python. I use it for machine learning only. So, it was fine. This was fine. It was okay. How successful? No, I wasn't. I wasn't very successful. I did something, but it wasn't okay. How hard? Mm, I mean, it was hard because I didn't remember, not because the task itself was hard. If I was fluent at this, I would have done it probably. I was annoyed at Python, not annoyed at anything else. I just want to point that out. I like figuring things out on my own, so I enjoy it, but I don't enjoy Python.
In these, sorry, I didn't clarify this before, but in these free form text uh, responses, please speak out loud as you were doing and when you were coding.
Okay. My overall approach for how I worked and my time. Well, the first thing I did was define the class. I started by defining the class, which is the first thing you should do. Then the constructor. It's the second thing, constructor. And I went. I started translating the easiest methods, the shortest ones, which is why I didn't do the insert because I knew it was going to be a pain. So I started doing that, and I tested each time I finished or thought I'd finished translating a method, which I think is like the best approach, right? You start with the easiest thing, and then you test it, you make sure it works, and then you use it to build something else. Doing the insert would have been smart because the size and everything else depends on you having something, but since it was hard to do, I decided it was much easier to just test the other things and then do the insert. No, I understand. I understand. Yeah. I remember what it does. As soon as I read it, I was like, yes, I know which one this is. I understand it. Why? Well, firstly, because I studied at college with a professor that was really severe and really demanding, and we did it in Java as well. So that's good. I mean, if the exercise had been backwards, I could have just copied the entire thing because we did binary trees and we did tries and we did all the structures. We built them on Java, so that was fun. Also, I've been programming on Java for about how long? Like 4 years, maybe? Probably something like that. I know it way more than I do Python, even though I'm using Python now and I'm not using Java for my work, but still. Any feedback? I don't know. I enjoyed it. I think it was fun. It was good to go back to those memories and those data structures. So I felt the experience was enjoyable and fun. So no improvements there. So just gonna submit it, and there you go.
Okay, great. Uh, let's take 5 minutes and then we can move on to the next one. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna pause the recording now and stop. Don't leave the WebEx so we don't lose continuity of the
Yes.
recording. But
Yes, of course.
you can stop. I would say don't stop sharing either, but just stop your video and mute yourself. Just
Okay.
can we'll reconvene at 10:50. That's okay.
Perfect. Perfect.
Awesome. See you then.
See you then.
Okay, welcome back. This time I remembered I just yesterday I had another session and I forgot to pause and we had like 5 minutes of nothing. So this time will be okay and we'll have one task after the other.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll move on to task number 2, where you will be translating the try data structure from Java to Python with the
Okay.
help of an AI code translation system. The system is able to automatically translate code from Java to Python, but it's not a perfect system. So
Okay.
the translated code may contain errors in it. We use the system ahead of time to create the 5 separate Python translations for you, which you'll see when you open the editor. How you use these translations to help you complete the task is entirely up to you. So I'm gonna send you the link to
All right.
this to the editor. Mhm. Did you get it? I already sent it. It's
There
in
it
the
is.
chat in the chat, which when you're sharing, it's hidden
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, I was looking for it.
Yeah, that's fine.
There it is.
Okay, so for this one, please put your solution in the try.py. The other 5 files are the 5 translations I was telling you about the
Okay.
AI system gives you. So we're starting now.
Great. Well, the first thing we're going to do is check how good this AI is translating stuff. So let's go on to the Java implementation. Okay, say try, you create the node, the children. Hash map, interesting. A boolean is word. Okay, is word false because it doesn't have anything yet. You get the children, yes. Is end of word, is word, makes sense. So at the end, you just change the value. Okay, you have a root, an insert, which just iterates, makes sense. Find word add node, get children. If it's null, you get false. If not, you assign it. Okay. Okay. There you go. You set the end to false, you return it, and if not, you do the whole thing. Okay. Man, this is way longer. Enumerate its entries. Oh, it gives you the amount. Okay. Keys, it appends it, gets the keys, and then delete it. Okay. And the merge tree. Yes. Okay. All right. So let's go up and see what this thing did. Has the children, has the node, gets the children, blah blah blah. Is word okay, so far so good, right? So at the end, you just this is totally stealable. So we're gonna already steal it. Well done, AI. Points for you. So you set it as false and you said what is false. Let's check just in case, method by method, but it doesn't use the hash map, which is interesting. It just uses a dictionary, but then again, this is Python, so it's okay, actually, it's fine. The children is a children, and the end of the word is the word. I'm just gonna, yeah, and then the set. Okay, so if we go to Java and we're gonna validate that the AI did things correctly, we should compress this one, this one, this one, and this one. Thank you. So the next is tree node and the tree. Interesting. I didn't see that, actually. I missed it. But yeah, there should have been two classes. Because it's inside it, right? I missed this line. It's fine, yeah. And you define it separately because that's what it makes the most sense to do. Okay, so we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna steal the node implementation because it's okay, and then we just compress it then because we already stole it. The tree. Okay, you set a root. If you insert it, soft root, you get the children. This one's strange. Let me check. Let me check. This is the tree node. There we go. Insert. UDIF absent. I'm not actually sure what this does because I don't remember hash maps too much, but if the children, and if not, in the tree node. And then you set the end of the word as true. Because you're inserting a word. Okay, that makes sense. And you set it to true. Looks mildly okay. We're gonna test it though, because I'm not too confident on this one, but let's just say that there's a tree, and of course you're gonna paste it wrong. And then what else? We need the constructor, which I didn't. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna copy the comment as well to give credit to the AI because I didn't do this. Okay. There we go. So the constructor, it's fine. You got a node, you insert it. This is okay. I'm not entirely sure again that this works, but I'm gonna test it later. So this one's okay, this one's okay. So far, so good. I'm gonna leave this on a pin somewhere in my mind because I need to check it later, and then insert. Okay, you define the root and you start iterating. Set default. I assume it's the equivalent to, yeah, no, I like this one way more actually. Because it's not, this is not, yeah, I was checking the insert again. Yeah, I like it more, but we'll see later. Then I got find, which iterates, finds the word at, tree node, blah, 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 gets the children, and if it's null, then returns false, otherwise it assigns it, and it just keeps iterating, okay? And it returns whether it's an end of a word. This is fine, checks the root, goes word to word, gets the children, if it's none, returns false. This one looks good. I like this one. Looks pretty good to me. So assuming this is okay, we can compress it, forget about it. We said the constructor was okay as well. Delete shouldn't be that hard because you set it to 0, and yeah, this is the exact same thing. So well done, AI. I like that it adds comments. I'm not too sure why it just saves an empty string. I would have just added like a commented a line, but I mean, it's just a choice. Doesn't really change anything. insert, we said that it didn't look so good, but defined it. So I'm gonna compress it here as well so I don't get confused. So far so good, right? Need to the insert, the delete. Duh, this one's complex. Okay. Yeah, because if it's the end of the word, then we return it. Okay. Then we get the children, and we check they're empty, which, yeah. What? Okay, we get where we're at, then we get the children for that, the remainder of the word, and if it's null, then we return false, because, yeah, because it's already. Should delete current node. Delete next plus one, we delete the next one, and we make sure that it's not the end of the word, okay? If we should delete it, then we remove it, and then we check that it's empty. Okay, okay, makes sense to me. I didn't realize that you had 4 different translations. I was looking, I thought it was divided in parts. So clearly I also need to double cross that. Great, awesome, awesome. I said I wasn't too convinced about the insert, so maybe I can check whether these translations are better. Find insert, well, this one's short. Is it the same? No, it's not the same, it's different. For adding word, get the default. Okay, this one's definitely wrong. I don't need to test it to know that that's weird. But perhaps we should test it, right? So we said that we don't need insert. So let's do that. It was tree. Tree test. Well, test tree. It's tree. And then we do, well, then we do test tree dot insert, and it needs a word. Well, let's just say hello. What do? You break. Awesome. You don't compile. I love it. You're so much alike. Okay, let's see if, okay, not iterable. Great. Don't trust AI. This is what I'm learning. Don't trust AI. Reason of the fine. Oh, wait, no, this is gotta be it. Really? Qué peleador. Come on, really? Okay, let's do it in, wait, but I just did it. Really? Try not, but you're here. What do you mean no? Insert. You should work. Why are you not working? You should work. Yes, insert. So what's the problem here? Name tree is not defined, but you're, oh, come on, Python. Come on, Python. Why are you, okay, if I search for, because it doesn't, then why are you failing? Because I don't see, no, but it's a name. You just assign your name, so that's okay. Why are you breaking? You shouldn't be breaking. Well, anyway, let's try the next one, and we'll get back. Oh my God, you are also using this notation. Okay. Class self-root tree node, and there's a tree node, yes, because you define it up there. Self-root, find, blah, 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 blah. And you were using this notation. Has no attribute get children. Don't trust AI, kids. Don't trust AI. This one's using the correct notation anyway, so that's better. Insert. This is one's the same as the one before, so it's the same translation. So if I do this, can I at least insert something? Of course not. Okay, let's forget about the AI then, and let's try to do our own insertion method, because clearly they're not helping. And I stole the first AI's method, which was this one, but I wasn't too convinced about it, so I can't say for sure whether it works. And clearly none of these compile, so they don't work. Get children. Oh, true. This does nothing. I mean, I love that it does nothing. It just iterates, but it never inserts anything. So that's dumb. And this one, set default. I'm not entirely sure what set default does. What does this do? Whoa, yeah, okay, not a good idea. Set default. Can you show me the info? No, you can't. Can you? Loading? Yes, you're loading. Please load. Oh, never mind. I'll just Google it. Just Google it. Returns the value of the item with a specified key. If it doesn't exist, it returns it with the specified value. See below. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I get it. Why do you take two parameters? So, oh, because you're looking for it, and if you can't find it, okay, this one's correct, or it looks better at least. It does something because you iterate over the string, and you. Oh, but this could be a problem if you have the same letter more than once in a word, right? Because you would find and you would insert. You wouldn't insert if you got to the end. Oh, we'll be using a 4. I don't know. I don't know what this does. So I'm just gonna copy it, which is what any. Well, it's the same. They already had. Okay. It didn't work. Didn't work because we had no set default because we didn't know what this item was. Current self root, current get children, and get children because I never copied it. Okay. I never copied it. So get children, get children, get children. Where is it? Get children, which is not defined, is it? But it was somewhere. Oh, but this is a tree node. Yeah, of course, of course, of course. And I compress it. So this is why. Get children, self children. This was okay. So current self root tree node. Okay, so then why are you have no attribute set default? But you are a dictionary. So you should have because if I say get children, you give me children, and children is a dictionary. So that's a bit weird. Non-type. Why don't you have a type if you're maybe because it's not instantiated and you're not, but it should be because if I say this, set root, a tree node. So you should be, okay, let's just print current and let's print L just in case. And it's gonna break, but it should print something before that. There we go. So it does work here. It gives me nothing when I say current, though. Main tree node object, which is the root. And then tuple. Tuple object has no attribute get children. What are you doing? Let people know. Okay, let's go to Java, see what it's doing. Second, I can't figure it out. For char array, okay. This is the same for that we have. This is correct so far. Current, get children, compute if absent, new tree node. Okay, so this is different because it's setting it as empty, which it shouldn't. And this is creating a new tree node. So perhaps what we should do is change this. Well, not that, this. Oh no, because the method is different. This is looking for words. Clearly we need to be using something else. Self root, print current. Okay, so we said this is fine, and this isn't very helpful because well, I could use it to string, I guess. That would be better. No, this doesn't work in Python. It's string. Should be like this. Compute if absent. Compute if absent. Let's try to replicate that. The map compute is absent. Python dictionary. There we go. Check if a given key already exists and increment it. Well, no, that's not what I need to do. If key function, then you do this isn't very helpful. Equals value. Yeah, but this isn't what we need because we could have repeated letters and that could give us some trouble. I need to get the children and what then? Okay, let's just print current, see what it does because I have no idea what's going on here. The object has no attribute get children. But it gets there twice, so it's when it gets to the L that it becomes complicated. It prints it once and it's empty. Then you print L and you get the children, but when you get to the next one, so you should be giving me the same. I mean, you should be just, oh no, because get children gives me self children and I have no children, so you give me empty. So I should do if current different from empty, maybe. then you give me children. And if not, you just finish. Yeah, I could use a break, but that's not recommended. So I'm not going to do it. I'm going to just not worry about performance issues here. So this runs. It does nothing, but oh, this is not correct. They should be here. There we go. That's better. Okay. Okay, this is more like it. Now you should get the children if you're inserting a word. I should compare whether the current I should compare whether the current I should compare whether they're the same. And if they're not the same, then there's a mistake. Or I should go to the end, maybe. I just append it. Yeah, I should just append it. So I should iterate to the end, and if I get to the end, so this is whoa, okay, so this is an else. If it's empty, it means that I got to the end, so I should just append whatever remains. So for the remainder of the 4, I should just add, right, which is what this pretty thing is doing, right? I should just add whatever is left. So can I, and then in the end I need to set the word as true. Current sentient, yeah, which is it's what's doing right now. It shouldn't be this hard.
5 minutes warning.
5 minutes. Yes, of course, clearly. Well, I clearly need to go back and study this again because I'm way too rusty. It's taking me way too much time to do this. Yeah, I remember that if you inserted the words, it just kept growing, and you appended the word at the end, which I'm not sure is if I should just is if I got to the end, it means that I have no children. So I need to create new children for myself, but I don't isn't the word set and the word. I should just create a new tree. But I don't have a set children, do I? Because I just could say, this one that children equals something, and that's just it. I don't have that, do I? Did they do it in Java? They did it with this awful function, which I'm not exactly sure what it does. I mean, it does this if there's nothing in it, but I don't know how to replicate that in Python. And I don't have, yeah, because it just adds things. Oh, okay, never mind. Let's just do a tree node then. Tree node. It takes, does it take, is word false, children, none. Nope. Can I do this? Children? No. That children. I can't do that. Get children. Get children. I don't have set children. And I can't add it because it's not in the implementation. Then I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do it. I think I should have a set children. I think I needed a set children for this. but it wasn't in the implementation. Well, I'm just gonna add it, whatever. Screw it. Set children. So that children equals children. I don't care. I don't give a damn. Just gonna say insert current dot set children. Well, maybe not. There you go. And I'm gonna give you a new tree node. This isn't correct, and I'm aware of it, but at least it does something. Or maybe not. Because I need to do this, right? Yeah. Ooh. Because it's the dictionary itself. It's a dictionary itself. It's never a tree node. Why is it never a tree node? Current self dot root. And root is a tree node, which is what I can't understand. Why isn't just tree node type? Because it should be tree node type, but since the beginning of the program, it's been just a plain dictionary, and that's not what I need. Well, whatever. I assume I just run out of time, so there isn't anything left for me to do. But let's just check what it did. Okay, this definitely. This is probably not okay. I mean, OS path exists. That's creepy. Then okay, this makes a bit more sense. These are the keys. You know, I don't. This makes more sense. This is definitely not correct. Because you're talking about a variable, you shouldn't be going onto folders and doing weird things.
Okay, we're done.
Okay, we're done.
Time's
Well,
up. Time's up.
That was sad. That was sad. That was very sad.
Times flies.
I'm gonna close this.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you another survey. We have 2 more surveys to go.
Okay.
Bear with me. They're large. They're longer than the other ones, but
Okay.
gonna send the first one, which is about this particular task.
Okay. There we go. You said P04.
Yes, your P04. This one is with AI and the try data structure.
Right thing. There we go. I think this was more demanding actually, because you had more code to review, and you were tempted to just steal everything. So I don't feel it was rushed. I don't remember what I said in the previous one, but I don't think. I mean, I think it was a 10. I gave it a 10 because it wasn't either. But I think it was more demanding. You were tempted to just steal the code, and then you had to check it because it didn't make much sense in some cases, and I couldn't determine whether it made sense in others. So I was confused. I think I would have been better off trying to figure out Java. How successful? I was a total failure. I mean, this was sadder than the other one because it didn't even run. I couldn't do anything. So I considered like, I mean, a almost total failure. Then how hard? I think it was harder actually, because I needed to check both my implementation and the AIs. So I would give it a 15. I wasn't too annoyed. I think I was less annoyed. I was just confused. So I would give it, I don't know, a 10. It was fine. I won't be scarred from this experience, so that's okay. My approach. I just stole all the code. No, I checked the Java implementation first to understand the data structure and methods. Then I verified the translations and copied those methods that I thought were correct. I didn't realize that there were several translations. For some reason, I thought it was divided onto parts. So that's why I only looked at the first one, and then I realized I have 4 more. What am I doing? So yeah. But that's what I did. I checked the implementation. They verified the translations, whether they were correct or not. I copied them, and then I tried to fix whatever I thought was wrong and double checked with the Java implementation to see if I was doing okay. Yeah, this one a little or somewhat, I'm not sure, because I remember what they did. I'm not I wasn't gonna say a little because I know the structure, I know what it does, but some functions that you guys used, I'm not sure what they do. So why? Well, why? Because the implementations that I've seen encoded before used other functions and structures, and also because I didn't know all the functions that were being used. So that's basically it. What else? The quality of the translations. I mean, there were some that were better than others, but then you had that one that was OS, that directory, that whatever, and so that's not okay. That's weird. But for simple functions like the children and the size and those get set kind of methods, they work okay, and in some cases they helped me understand what was going on. So why? Because they involved functions that weren't appropriate, uh, like the OS ones, which, I mean, why? And because they didn't do what they were supposed to. In many cases, also, in all cases, the code didn't run. I mean, I tried to run it, it didn't run. So that's an indicator that you didn't do your job well. So the quality of the translations, did it match? I had no expectations actually, so I don't really. So I'm gonna say it met my expectations, but only because I didn't have any. So the translations were somewhat useful. Yeah, they were. They had errors. Yes. I don't know whether to say a great deal or somewhat, because I don't want to, like bring the AI down when I don't even understand what it was doing in the first place. So I'm gonna say somewhat. Helped you complete the task. Yeah, a bit. I mean, most of what I did was stolen from the translation. So yeah, helped me understand the code a little, not too much, but a little. Taught me something new about Python. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say not at all, but I'm gonna say a little because it was using some functions that I didn't know, but I'm not really sure that I learned anything substantial. Then difficult versus easy. Yeah, I think it complicated way more. Yeah, I'm gonna say -3. This is way way more complicated. Did I feel that it made me faster? No, I think it made me slower, a bit slower. Yeah. Did I feel that it was the provider made me work in the best of worst quality? Well, my quality wasn't very good to begin with, clearly, so I'm gonna say like a -1. It didn't help, but I mean, it wasn't good to begin with. Most useful, that some code was already written for me, so it saved me the time to write it myself. So that's 1 point. Then also the fact that I could double check. They allowed me to double check the Java implementation. So that goes along with the understanding the original code better. So it did help a bit. The least useful, that they didn't work. I mean, come on, they didn't work. Also, the fact that they could be confusing at times because I didn't understand what they were doing. So didn't really help me clear my doubts. It just added more to the list. So yeah, I would say those are the main two things. Yeah, I think it was enough. I mean, I had like 4, so that's way more than enough. Even I would have thought maybe even 1 or 2 maybe instead of 4 would have been easier, because some were very similar. So maybe too many. Maybe 2 would have been better. 2 very different ones that I could compare. Then additional information, which you expect as part of the explanation. I don't know. Maybe comments. I mean, the original Java implementation didn't have that many comments either, but I try, as a developer, I try to comment the things that I do when the lines are complicated, when I'm calling a function that does way too many things at once. I try to say, okay, I'm calling this function because I want to get this specific result. So I'm going to say that comments would be nice, but I say this to people mostly, not only AI. Please comment your code. Commenting is good. It costs you nothing. Then work conditions. For the working conditions, to what extent would AI supported code be helpful? Well, under pressure, I wouldn't like, under pressure, please don't annoy me. Don't give me anything else. I just need my head and my screen and my keyboard. That's it. When working alone, I think it could be helpful. I think it could be good to have like a second perspective. I mean, if you have no one to talk to or to discuss your ideas, I think it's good to actually check and see if you can come up with something. Normal, I would say moderately. I don't see, I am not sure if it could help or not. Then only I would use, I mean, if it works, why not? If it doesn't, then leave it out. When working with my team, I mean, if you already have people who also code and can help you, I think it's better, because at least you can ask them why they're doing what they're doing. A small team, I would say the same, because actually small teams are, I would say slightly actually, because small teams allow you to talk with them on a one-on-one. Maybe it would be more helpful if you have a lot of people and you can't be talking to them all the time. Prototyping code, well, production code, I would say no. or slightly, because if it's gone into production, I want to check it. I want to make sure what it's doing. And prototype, I would say slightly. I've had good experiences with the autocomplete that some IDEs bring, which I assume that it uses, I don't know if AI specifically, but at least some automation tools. So that saves time. The whole autocomplete get set formats kind of thing, or the force, when you're trying to iterate a list or something. So I'm not sure if you need AI for that. I think you could just do it manually, but it saves time. So that's good. For which situations would be appropriate? But critical, no. Please don't give me AI on critical stuff because I don't want to kill anybody with my code. When it's important, I think it would be appropriate because it's a lot easier to define rules for AI to check, for compliance and comments and whether the format is good. I think AI could be helpful in that, making sure people are thorough in the way that they write code. When performance, I think again it could be useful because you could say, maybe you shouldn't be using a for, maybe you should be using another kind of structure to go down from linear to logarithmic time. I don't know, but I think an AI could examine that way more easily than people can. In college we used to have code, and we used to try to determine the order of each of the operations and try to come up with how performant the code was, and we did it machine-like, line by line. We would say what the order was. So I can see how AI could actually do that as well and help us in that way. Large code, yeah, let them do it. In a language which I'm familiar, I would say moderately, because since you're not familiar, like I wasn't with this, I cannot assess whether the translation is good or not. And the same goes for this one. How useful in real code? One problem per, oh my god, that's a lot of lines. I would say very. Here I would say moderately because of the amount. Same, as it goes down, I would say slightly. 100, you can debug 100. Come on. 10 lines, come on. If you cannot do this, you shouldn't be developing at all. So let's do that. Any feedback? No, really. I found the experience to be fun, a bit more frustrating than the other one, but okay, but it was okay. So it's a bit. There we go.
Awesome. Thank you. There's one last survey which is very, very short. I'm sending the link right now in the chat.
Okay. There we go. P04. I'm getting good at this. How would I compare AI without AI? I would say the same that we were talking about just now. The experience without AI, I think, forces you to think for yourself and compare the code you were given with your own implementation. In the other case, you need to compare more code. With AI, you validate more code, the base code and the translations. So I think it's more work, partially. It's more work. And so it's harder. So it's harder, and it takes up more time because you're actually doing the same thing but several times. So, and more time consuming, I would say. And this is because I don't trust the translation. If I did trust it blindly, then this maybe wouldn't be as time consuming. But then again, you could send code onto production or somewhere that you don't know if it works. So, I mean, it's a trade-off, right? Beyond the translation, working with code, what kind of things AI could do? Maybe alternatives, like providing alternatives to functions or code structure like IDEs do. So I'm gonna do that like IDEs. Then also what we were saying about the auto completion of simple functions, get, set, class definitions, all those things that are tedious and not really bringing anything onto the table. I think that could be automated. You could say, I want this class with these attributes, and just go and do it, and they could just write it, and you could be left with writing the really difficult code that you really want to make. So, so yeah, and maybe perhaps what we said, validation of code performance, uh, which said order of execution, is it the term? Which was whether it's linear, logarithmic, or whatever. So yeah, I can think maybe also commenting or code format in general, like, is it well indented, is it well commented, does it have all the documentation filled out for all the methods, those sort of things. Female, I don't even know what I am. I'm a developer advocate, so I would write that because it's kind of like developing, but not in a traditional sense. So yeah, it's more like workshops and presentations and all that. Machine learning, yes, I use it all the time, basically. Well, right now I'm using, aside from IBM Watson, which is what I use the most, I'm using Keras and TensorFlow to build visual recognition neural networks. That's mainly it. Then have I translated? No, I actually have never translated anything. So no, I would say no. Sure, why not? Can I give you my IBM address, and you can just talk to me. There we go.
Okay, we made it to the end. So
We
this is
survived.
it. Yeah, you survived. I was just watching. Is this easier for me? I was taking notes also, and I didn't mention, but in the first task, I had two screens, and you
Oh,
probably I should have mentioned some that if I look to one screen or the other, it's that I had you on one screen and was taking notes on the other, so that's why I was looking for one. And but then I put my
oh.
both all in one screen so you don't get distracted if
Okay, that's
well,
fine. Good.
thanks a lot for all of these. We will be sending you some blue points your way,
Oh, yeah.
250 to as a token of our appreciation. Um, we can talk more about the study that we're doing. If I'm gonna stop the recording now so we can speak in Spanish if you want, which
Okay.
is I think is better.
Yeah.
Um,
Gotta stop sharing
and
as well.
if we start speaking in Spanish and my teammates start watching, they will be like
Confused.
with it. I was thinking at some point I was thinking to prank them by doing the entire study in Spanish, but then I would have to do the whole work. So
Yeah,
I'll do it in English and we'll call it a day. So
that's
thanks
fine.
again. I'm gonna stop the recording now. We can talk more about the study.
Okay,